Are you guys ready to see how I do these fleeky brows? No, I'm kidding, that was cocky. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have a quick little video for you guys, and it is my eyebrow routine. I want to bring you guys this video because I believe the last eyebrow routine I did was in like 2015, around when I first started my channel. And I know in a lot of my tutorials and get ready with me and stuff like that, I kind of tend to skip over it and fast forward it. So I wanted to bring you guys a dedicated video on how I have been filling in my brows recently. I've definitely been liking a little bit more of a bold and defined look, but not so much of a solid Instagram brow, if you guys know what I mean. I definitely like to find a ground between like natural as well as defined. I really hope that you guys enjoy seeing this video on how I fill in my brows. Definitely leave me any questions you might have down below about my brows. I'm definitely not a brow expert by any means. This is just my personal preference when it comes to my brows, and I've been really liking how I've been doing them, so I figured it was definitely time to share that with you guys and show you guys my updated eyebrow routine. I don't want to go on and on because my camera battery is actually dying right now, but I really hope that you guys enjoy, and let's just get on into the brow routine. So starting off, my favorite brow product ever is my Anastasia Brow Wiz in medium brown. This has been a holy grail for me for my brows for like years. I just find it super easy. It has such a nice fine point. It has the perfect amount of pigmentation, and it is so easy to work with. Whether you want something super defined, something super natural, it can give you the best of both worlds. So before I fill in anything, I always start off with spooling out my brows just to make sure all the hairs are going in the right direction and everything is nice and even. So first, I'm going to be using the Brow Wiz to define my brows. As you guys can see, I'm going to be kind of drawing that defining line on the top and down to the tail of my brows, and I'm also going to be doing the same thing on the bottom. With the Brow Wiz, I'm going to be filling in the middle part of my brow, also going out towards the tail part of my brow and just extending that end a little bit. I like my tail end of my brow to be the most defined, and I feel like you can get a really nice look with the Brow Wiz because I just have so much control. Like I mentioned, it's creamy, but it's not super pigmented, so it's going to avoid a super dark and harsh look. And of course, as always, going in with the spoolie, like I mentioned, I want to have something defined but also natural, and the spoolie is going to help make sure that everything is nice and even and brushed out and there's no direct super dark lines there on my brows. And I'm also going to be kind of just touching up here and there. My brows kind of change on the daily, not necessarily the whole process, but whether I want a little bit more of an arch, whether I want to go a little bit more natural. It's kind of just what I see on the spot to add little details and go in like that with my Brow Wiz. So for my other brow, this one does need a little bit more help when it comes to the top as well as an arch. The hairs don't really grow too much on the top, so you will see me kind of extending it up there and also adding a bit more of an arch and extending it out towards the end, lightly filling in the front like I mentioned the last time, and really focusing the Brow Wiz on the tail end. So those are the eyebrows outlined and defined, and now we're going to be going in with the second product. This is also an Anastasia Beverly Hills brow product. I think they just make the best brow products. This is the Brow Powder Duo in the shade Dark Brown. I just feel like dark brown suits my eyebrows the best. The one in medium brown is just a little bit too ashy for me. Dark brown has a little bit more life. So I'm taking this on a small Sigma eyeliner brush. I believe it's like the E305. I'm looking right now, and the shade, oh, it's the E05. It's just their eyeliner brush. The name's kind of rubbed off, but I'm just taking this because I don't have an angled eyebrow brush, and taking both of the powders mixed together and running that through my brows in little hair-like strokes. I just like how the colors look mixed together. I don't really prefer the lighter one or the darker one. And then of course, after I have everything filled in, I'm going in with my spoolie and then again doing the same thing on the other brow. Throughout the video, you're definitely going to see me being more light-handed on the front and deeper on the tail end of my brow like I mentioned. I just like to have more of a gradient, and this is going to give the most natural looking effect for the brows. And of course, again, going in with the spoolie, really concentrating it on the front and brushing the hairs back into place. Again, I cannot emphasize enough that really running that spoolie through is going to distribute the product nice and evenly, which is going to give for a natural brow. And again, just filling in with some more powder till it is as intense as I want it to. Now for the part that I actually just started doing pretty recently, this is kind of carving out the brows and cleaning them up with a bit of concealer. This is the Maybelline Better Skin Concealer, but honestly, the concealer changes from day to day. Sometimes I also use the foundation that I'm using that day. That really doesn't matter. So I'm taking a little bit of the concealer on the back of my hand, and I'm using this flat concealer brush and carving out the brows. I don't want them to look super carved out and harsh, so if you guys see, I'm not really using the tip of the brush to get a really sharp edge on the top of my brow. I just want the area to look nice and clean and just carving them out slightly, and then I'm also taking some concealer in the middle of my brows and kind of running it on the front to lighten up that area too. And then I carve out the tail end of my brow as well. This is the most important. I feel like this really cleans up the look because I feel like when you run the spoolie through, that's kind of where it throws all of the extra product. So I really like to make sure the edges are all nice and clean. And then I always like to go back in with my brow wiz to redefine the tops of my brows a little bit. If I covered up a little bit too much with concealer, I feel like this last kind of go in with the brow wiz on top kind of makes them pop off my face again. And the final step that I like to take in my eyebrow routine is taking any white shadow, any cream eyeshadow, preferably matte for me. I just like a matte shadow underneath my brow to really highlight and lift that area, and I feel like it just cleans everything up a bit more and makes that area nice and bright. So that is going to complete my eyebrow routine. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. You guys can feel free to leave me any questions down below, and I will try my best to answer them. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe before you leave, and as always, I will see you guys in my next one.